did you install any other platforms? Please do let me know.
No, SSMS only install.
Okay, is that working?
Yes.
Yes, fine. Now, what you want to do is just execute the queries how I am telling and what are the purpose of that, because beyond that you will not get anything. Okay, so understand the purpose and the little things, small things. Yesterday we were discussing that a table can be created with same name but with the different schema, right? So that little bit of point is very important. So just remember those points and try to query in your own language. Like how you speak English, in the same manner you just query it. Okay, fine. We'll start. If you have any doubts in yesterday's question, please let me know. To open file, you just click on here, so that what was how you have saved your file. I just saved my file with db4. I'll click on that. I'll open it. See, if you want to save, this was the option to save, or else you forgot to save, or else you forgot the file name. You just click file and you can see recent file here. Okay, and you can save here also. Fine. Now, yesterday we just seen that have to create a table, database and schema by using a create command, create keyword, which is already defined there. Now, yesterday we were seeing that here I have created a table with emp and the table with emp1. Two tables I have created. In that, in one table I don't have any constraint, whereas in another table I have constraint. Let us see how these are working. Okay, if I insert the data into the table, how these are working. Okay, before that, we will see the delete and truncate and drop commands. I'll show you some tables with the data. Otherwise, let me take this one. North wind is also important. Yes. Now, if I want to see all the columns from the table, what was the command I need to write? Star, right? Select star from table name. This is the command if I want to see all the columns from the table. Now I'll make this into a database, DB1 database. Uh, just understand the difference between drop and truncate. Because in general English, drop is something deleting, right? And truncate is also similar to the deleting. But even though the functionality is same, why these two are happened in the SQL? That is what our question. In general English, these two are same. But in the SQL, though they are same, but in the backend it is executing differently. I'll show you what is the main difference between this drop and truncate. Because this, see, recently in the project, we have used that truncate instead of dropping and instead of deleting. Okay, I let you know the difference between truncate and delete as well. Now we'll just see drop and truncate. After few minutes, we will see difference between truncate and delete. See, every command have their own functionality, remember. So this is my data inside EMP table. Now, what I'll do is, I'll take another table also. select star from this table. Now I'll execute this one. Now see, here also I have data, and in the EMP table also I have data. Why I have taken two tables, I'll just tell you. Now I'm just dropping EMP table. Drop table EMP. This is what syntax. Drop table table name. This is the syntax. Now I'm just taking drop table EMP. Now I'll execute this one. Command run successfully. Now query it. Now try to fetch the columns from the EMP table. See, the moment you execute this command, what it is telling? Invalid object name. Means what? If there is no object with EMP, then we will get an error. But just now, before dropping the table, we saw that the data with the table. But after dropping, the structure also gone and the data also gone from the database. We don't have any EMP table in the database, right? Now, similarly, I'll just execute this one. Now, I'll truncate this table. Truncate table. Table name is this one. I'll truncate this table. Now, if I truncate this one, command run successfully. Now I'll try to execute. I will try to fetch the records from the table. Am I getting any error here that we don't have any table? Table does not exist. No, right? See, if you drop a table, the structure along with the data is deleting permanently from the database. If you truncate the table, it will just delete the data from the table. It will not touch the structure of the table. The table will not be deleted. Only the data inside the table is deleted. Are you getting what is the difference between drop and truncate? And moreover,
Yes.
one beautiful question by an interviewer: can we use where condition in the DDL commands? See, DDL commands means what? To create or something, to alter something, to drop or truncate. See, now it's fine, right? I have deleted all the columns from the table. But what if I want to delete only particular columns? Like I want to delete those salaries greater than 5,000. I want to delete all those records. Definitely, I need to write a condition, right?
Yes.
But unfortunately, DDL commands will not support where condition. For that purpose only, we have delete, which is nothing but DML command. Delete. For that purpose, we use delete. Just remember this point. Now we'll see. We'll complete this DDL commands. Now, dropping is fine. Truncating is also fine. Now, successfully, I have created a table. This is what my table is. Now, let me change my database. Now execute this one. Yes, successfully the table was created. Now what I have to do is that I realized that I want to alter the table name. I want to rename the table name. In the Oracle, you have something called rename option. But in the SSMS, we have to rename here itself. Just select that, right click on it, and you can rename here itself. Okay. Right click on it. Otherwise, you just double click on it. Then it will ask you to rename. That's all.
Will it not work in Oracle?
Oracle, see, like you will not find the tables, right? Like this. in the Oracle platform, you have to rename it. Rename table, old table name to new table name. That is what you have to run.
Okay.
Means you have to write the command to rename also. But here we don't have, we don't need to write a command. Even though if you are writing, it will not support. Even though if you're like, if you want to rename the column also, you can rename here itself. Just expand the columns. Right now, I don't have any columns here. Yes, let me take this one only. Like I want to rename this one. I'll just right click on this and see I have rename option here. So right click on, click on that. Then you can rename it here happily. That is why many of the people suggested or required to use SSMS. Okay, fine. Now, the table was created successfully without any constraint. But here I want to create a primary key on top of this EMP table. After creating a table, somehow I realized that I want to have a primary key on top of the table. See, table was already created. If I want to have primary key on top of the column, definitely I need to create another table, right? Or else I want to alter the table. What is meant by altering? Changing, right? Changing an existing one. So definitely I need to alter. For that purpose only we have alter command. If you want to add column, you have to go for alter command. If you want to drop the column, see, if I write like this, whole table is dropping. What if I want to drop only one particular column? To drop but only one particular column, we must go with an alter command. So what are all the things we can do with this alter command? I'll just show you here. Like if you want, you can add a constraint, you can add a column, you can drop a column. Okay, I'll just show you the syntax. See, syntax will be very simple. Just alter table, table name. If you want to add column, column name of data type. That's all. Add column name and data type mention. That is all of fine. So that's why I'm not executing. If you want, I can execute. This is a documentation which I was preparing. See, I can add a column, I can drop a column, modify the data type. Now, here I can add unique constraint, primary key constraint. See, these are all the things I can do with the alter command. Shall we do it now? All these things?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fine. I want to create a primary key on top of the EMP column. Okay. Now I'm speaking to the SQL server. Just observe how I'm speaking to SQL server. It's just as similar to our language, but you have to tell to the SQL server perfectly. Now, what I want to alter here, alter table. Which table? EMP table. What I want to do with EMP table? I want to add column. I want to add. Tell me some column. Salary column. Salary, which is of some money data type. Money data type. Now, if I run this one, command run successfully. Now we will see the EMP table. See, the salary column is added. alter, see, these are very important. Just observe carefully. I want to alter this table, so given directly to the SQL server. After that, I'm just adding the column. I'm not mentioning column here, remember. Many people will be mentioning the column and thinking that we are getting wrong. But here we are not supposed to mention any column, like column keyword. So add salary of money data type. See, the moment you create a column, what I just told you, data types are mandatory, right? So I just given money as a data type. Now, I want to drop column. Then what I have to do? Same, alter table, EMP table. I'm just altering. What I'm altering? I'm just dropping. Drop column, column salary. Now try to see this one. See, now now salary column is dropped. Observe the difference between these two commands. If you want to add column, no need to mention column, but you have to mention the data type. If you want to drop the column, you have to mention the column keyword, and no need, you're not supposed to mention any data type. Fine. Now, similarly, I want to change the data type. Okay, I'm just adding this one. I'm just adding the salary column to this particular EMP table. Now I want to change the data type of salary column. Right now I have money as my data type, right? Now I want to, otherwise you can see here also, right? What are the data types where we can see? Let me expand this one. DB4. In the DB4 tables, I have EMP. See, the beauty of SQL Server is this one. You can simply expand and you can see. See here, salary is of money data type. Or else if you want to see the data types by using commands, what was the table I just mentioned yesterday? Information schema. There you are having everything. You can execute this one. Information schema dot column information you want, right? So you just remove the constraint. Schema dot. Now check here. Do I have any tables? View usage not required. Let me take this one. I don't know what it gives. Okay. Domain, we don't use any domain. MS schema
Hello,
dot.
Bhavya.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, here we have given a data type for a salary as a money, right? So
Yes.
actually, is there a specific money, or we can give even mention a int
Yes. We
int
can
we
mention
can
int. Like, see, it's up
mention.
to you that what are all the data you want to enter. For money and the decimal kind of thing, you can use int. In the back end, you know what happens? Data will be converting.
Okay.
I'll tell you how data types are using that, because we have something called conversion functions. Sometimes we will be inserting the string type of data into the int column. Then it will show some error. We can achieve that as well in the SQL server. Not in the SQL server, in the SQL language we can achieve that by using that. Okay,
Okay.
so it's not that you
Mhm.
can use only money, you can use int. For that is why initially I just created with the money, right? Now I'll alter the salary column with the int. but I'm just showing
Okay.
you. Now,
Mm.
see here, information schema dot columns. Either you can see the data type here or else you can see here information schema dot columns. See, if you don't know what to mention here, just remove this one. Just remember information schema dot, then you can find the findings here. So I want column information, so I just hit the columns one. Now I'm getting the information. Now these are all the column names I have. Now salary is of money data type. Here also I can see the data type. Both the ways we can see that. Why I introduced this information schema initially, because in the real time project, if you're working in the SSIS, there you're writing the procedures in the SQL itself. So the moment you write the procedures, you always go to the information schema and you'll check for the table exist or not. You'll check for whether table exists or not, everything. Okay, that's why I introduced this one. Try to remember, no worries. Now, before altering the salary column, observe this command and try to answer my question. Did SQL is a case sensitive?
No.
No, exactly. Because see, up to here I used capital letters. After that, I use small letters. But if you try in the Oracle platform, it will definitely hit you an error. Not only with this, see, if you are applying, like in the where condition, you don't know whether the data in alphabetical means capital letters or in small letters. We don't know. We just know the name and we'll keep on giving that. But in the SQL, the beauty of SQL Server is case insensitive. It will not consider the cases, letter cases. But whereas some other platforms, I don't know exactly what, but in the Oracle, you need to see what type of case the letters are there, like whether in uppercase or lowercase. If it is in uppercase, then you have to give in the uppercase itself. So see in the SQL Server, the commands are case insensitive. You can use small letters, you can use capital letters, whatever you want, you can. Okay, that is all fine. Now, uh, data type of the salary column is money. I want to alter that. This is bit different. Try to see here. Alter. I want to alter the table. Which table? EMP table. What I want to alter again? I want to alter money with int. Again, I need to mention alter salary, which is of int data type. Alter column salary of int. Now execute this one. Command run successfully. Now refresh this one. Yes, expand. See, salary is become an int data type now. I'll execute here also. See, in the data type column, we have int data type. Before altering, we just saw that it is a money kind of data type. But right now, it's an int kind of data type. So observe carefully. Alter table name. Hey SQL Server, I want to alter the table, which is EMP. What I want to do? I want to alter column here. I want to alter this column. That is what you are speaking to the SQL Server. Now, this is fine. I want to add the constraint. I just created a table without a constraint. Now, suddenly I realized that it's better or it's good to have primary key on top of the EMP number. See, obviously employee numbers are unique, right? So I want to have primary key on top of EMP number. See, right now, if you see here, EMP number is just int data type and it is going to allow null values. But previous session, we discussed that the moment I use primary key, what I have to do? What the column should be not null and the column must be unique. Then only I can use column as an primary key, right? So I'll try to create primary key on top of the EMP number now. Let us see whether we'll get an error or not. Alter table EMP. I want to add constraint. Add constraint, right? Now constraint. Here you have to give constraint name. See, if you are creating the constraint along with the table, by default it is going to take. But if you are adding the constraint to the existing table, you have to give the constraint. What was the constraint I'll be giving? Primary key, right? PK underscore EMP number. Primary key on top of EMP number, I'm just giving it. What primary key I want to have? Sorry, what on top of which one? EMP number, right? Primary key of EMP number. Let us execute this one. Couldn't create constraint or yes, this is what the error I want. This is what error I wanted to show you. See, cannot define primary key constraint on nullable column in the table EMP. If you observe here carefully, give me a moment. Here, what it is telling, null, right? So the primary concept holds good for not null values. If I want to add also, it is not going to take any more. For that, what I have to do? I need to drop the, like I want to drop that null and I want to add not null to that column, and after that I can add primary key. Now try to add not null here.
Bhavya, can you repeat the statement again because your connection is poor at that time?
Oh, sorry, fine. See here, the moment I execute this one, this is the error I'm getting. Actually, I want to show you this error. Because see what it is telling, cannot define primary key constraint on nullable column. Because it is a nullable column. Here it is directly mentioning it's a null. It can accept null. But if it is going to accept null, primary key will not be created on top of that. Primary key will not be created. So in order to create a primary key, I will make that column as a not null. Okay. I have to alter the column. Let us see here. Alter table EMP. Next, what I have to do, I want to add not null constraint, right? I don't know whether it is going to work or not. Add constraint, some con underscore nt. I'll just take one thing. Not null of EMP number. Yeah, it's showing an error. Means it is not going to work. Do one thing. I'll just alter it. Alter column EMP number, which is of some int data type, and it should be not null. Constraint here itself I'm giving. Now try to run this one. Fine. Now refresh this one. Expand columns. Yes, fine. Now EMP number is a not null constraint. Fine, right? Now I'll be adding the constraint here. Now I'll run this one. Let us see whether we will get any error or it is going to execute. See, now it is executed. Initially, it is throwing me an error, but now it is executed. It is just because the concept which we have discussed in the last session, that holds good here. See, these minor point, if you explain to the interviewer or if you are like if you know these things, the development will be very easy. Now this is fine. Now I'll just refresh this one. After that, yes, see here, primary key. PK is indicating a primary key. See, this is not the name I have given. By defaultly, the PK is going to show anymore. Anyhow, it is going to show the PK here. See, if it is a primary key, always remember key will be pointing to outside. What in case of foreign key? It will be pointing to inside. Okay. Now, I'll just expand this constraint. Right now, I don't have any constraint. But to check the constraint on the table, what I have to do? Something I have, right? Information schema dot constraint column usage. Now just execute. See, in the EMP table, one primary key. See, on the EMP column, I have PK underscore EMP number. This is what the name I just given here. See, this name and this name. The same name I'm getting. And these two yesterday I just created it. This is how we can add a constraint. Now, did you get a doubt that can I say instead of adding a constraint, what if I'll remember only this column and I'll try to give this one? Let us see. Alter. See, instead of remembering these two commands, try to remember this command if we can create this primary key on top of that one. EMP alter now I'll just drop the EMP column. EMP number I'll just drop. Okay, primary. Yeah, this I want to show. Okay, fine. Now I'll just add a constant on top of salary. Okay, just forgot about this. What I can say, this error for now. I'll tell you this error also, but forgot about this error. Okay, don't check for this error. Alter table EMP alter. I want to alter the column. Yes, column salary, right? Salary. Here I want to give a constraint, right, which is of some int data type and primary key. Correct only, right? Primary key. Yes. So if you want to add a constraint, you cannot simply write like this. You have to add a constraint. You have to mention these words. You cannot alter a column by adding a constraint. Understand? So you have to remember these two syntaxes. Fine. This is how we can see. Similarly, if you want to create a foreign key, you can create a foreign key. But before adding a foreign key, we have some story regarding this primary key and foreign key. Okay. I'll just show you PPT. There we will understand the story. Yes, here it is. Imposing yeah, this is what we just seen till now. We cannot impose not null constraint in the table level, whereas remaining constraint can be applicable. We just experienced this line, right? This one. See, when I try to impose, like instead of this one, when I try to add not null, it has thrown an error. But when I try to alter it, it is altering. This is what this is telling. We cannot directly add that one. Like, this is the thing I wanted to know. I want you guys to know. While imposing foreign key in the table level, we need to explicitly use the foreign key clause to specify the foreign key column. Whereas in the column level constraint is defined beside to foreign key column only. Constraint is defined beside to column. See, where is it? Yeah, here. See, I just created a table here. Here I am creating a foreign key and referencing the something. Understand? I'm just creating a foreign key on top of this one and referencing the primary key column of some other table. I'll show you how to create that. This is some other rules. Now we'll try to understand this one, this column about foreign key. What does that sentence exactly mean? Till now, I just created a table with these constraints, right? Now I'll be creating one more table, which is EMP2. Create table. This, am I going speed? No, right? It's okay. Now create table EMP2. I want to create here also. See, table name should be different. Column names might be same. Okay. Int, and here I should have primary key. And comma e name, I'm just employee name, which is of some varchar of 20. Let us take, I'm not inserting anything here. I'm just creating this table. Now, see, in order to remove this result set, just hit Control plus R. Okay, then that will not be displayed. Now I'll create another table. Create table. Department table I'll create. Department of some department number, right? Here also we have that. Let me do one thing. Drop table. EMP2. Why I'm dropping means I'll tell you. I'll show you like a real-time one. Here, generally in the real time, we'll be having some EMP and department relationship, right? Employee and department. Means employee table is related to this department table. That's why I'm just creating the department number also here. See, now I don't have data and I am creating the table, and that is why I dropped. But in the real time, don't drop like this. Drop is a most dangerous command. Okay. In some other tools, the data might be storing because it's cloud or something. But in the here, I'm telling you, right, within 45 minutes, that too I'm not sure. I don't have data. I don't have anything. But within 45 minutes, the data might be storing because it's cloud or something. But in the here, I'm telling you, right, within 45 minutes, that too I'm not sure. I don't have data. I don't have anything. But within 45 minutes, the data might be storing because it's cloud or something. up to so far we just used. If you drop a table, maybe in worst case, only 45 minutes it is going to store that data. After that, no data will be stored anywhere. In the recycle bin, you are going to store your data, not in the other cloud platforms. Okay. If you see, if you are observing the Snowflake, there it is going to store some 3 stages, and there 3 different copies it is going to store. Not only in Snowflake, in any other cloud platforms. But here in the SQL, if you're talking related to these databases, database will not store 3 different copies anywhere. Okay. So that is why while using this truncate and drop, these two are most dangerous commands. Now, department, which is of some int. Okay, I'll try to execute this one. Yes, executed. Control plus R that you have to press to display that to disable this result set. Now I'll be creating department number and dname, which is of some varchar of 20, and I'll create here employee number. Here my employee number is acting like a foreign key. Foreign key references. References is a keyword. You must write this keyword. If you give only reference, it is not going to work. You have to write references. What this EMP number of foreign key references? Primary key of, primary key of means what? Primary key already consisting of this one, right? EMP. Table name which is of that EMP2 of EMP number. See what indirectly it is taking, right? References, the column which you are mentioning here, it should be a primary key column. Here the table name you have to mention. Table name of primary key column. Syntax I'll write here. Create table underscore name 1 of some columns. Here, if you are referencing something, let us take column 2, here you have to mention data type, and here you have to mention foreign key references. The references keyword is also mandatory. References, here you have to mention table underscore name of primary key column. Primary key column. This is how you have to write a table. You have to create a table with a foreign key constraint. Now, if I execute this one, definitely it will throw an error because I need to close this one, right? Now, fine. Now, I'll try to open this department table. Refresh this database once. Expand the tables. Yes, EMP2 and department I just created now, right? If you expand this one, yes, this is a primary key column, EMP number. And this department also I just created. See, foreign key, it is showing FK. And the key is indicating inside. Whereas in the primary key, it is indicating outside. This is what a major difference. But while creating a foreign key, always remember a parent table should have a primary key. If you see here, In general scenario, department will be the parent table and the employee will be the child table in the real time. Okay, but now I just taken as a employee table as a parent table and the department as a foreign child table. So the moment you create a foreign key, always remember that table is called as a child table. The moment you create a primary key on top of the table, that table is called it as a parent table. So while creating this kind of foreign keys, this is the syntax, this is the thing you have to follow. This major part is important. Similarly, if you want to add foreign key constraint also, this is the most important thing. See, add constraint, constraint name, and you have to give this one. That's all. This is how you can add a constraints as well. Now, yeah, this is all fine. Foreign key constraint and primary key constraint. Here, I want you to add a constraint of primary foreign key. Okay, please do. Like we have unique constraint also, right? Add unique constraint to the table and primary key reference to the table. Have to add the primary key reference. First, you need to create a parent table and after that create a child table. Now give a foreign key reference and create a table without unique constraint. After creating a table, you need to add unique constraint. Here also the same. You need to add this foreign key reference. Don't don't create a table like this, because we just created, right? If you want, you can create a table for practice, but create a table without foreign key by using alter command. Try to create or else try to add that constraint. Okay. If you feel any difficulty there, no worries, I'll help you out, but try it. Fine. Yes. Coming to this error. These errors are most important. See, the object pk emp number is dependent on column emp. See, alter drop column failed because one or more objects access this column. See, the moment you create a primary key on top of that column, it is going to be accessible by other columns. Like that, the SQL server is going to think. Okay. Now, what if I want to drop this one? Drop that particular column. If you want to drop that column, first you have to drop the reference. After that, you have to drop the not this one. See here, this one. I'm talking about this one. EMP, this one. This is what I'm talking exactly. Here, alter. First, you have to delete or else you have to drop the constraint. After that, you can drop the column. Now, the moment I try to drop the column, I'm just facing this error. That means you cannot draw primary key column directly. If you see the PPT, I think did not mention. See, this node 2 is nothing but just now we have seen, right? Foreign key. That is what the node 2 is. Okay, this is what updated rules and all. No worries. I'll show you. Here, I want to drop this column. Before that, I will be dropping constraint. What is the syntax to drop constraint? Up to now, we just seen to add a constraint. But now I want to drop a constraint. Alter table emp drop constraint. Constraint name you have to give. If you don't know constraint name, what you will do?
Schema usage.
Very good. Information schema. Otherwise, we have something called sp underscore. I think we'll get this by using index. Help index. Only indexes I think we'll be getting. Okay, no worries. We'll see by using that one. Information schema. Now I want to see the constraint which on top of emp from this table, on top of this one, this constraint name I want to drop. Now just copy this one and give here. Where is that? Yes, here. I'll be writing here so that you can easily understand. Now alter table emp drop constraint name. See, now execute. Constraint, giving constraint name is mandatory. Like this, you have to drop the constraint. Constraint might be anything. See, now we just created a foreign key constraint, right? There also in the backend, a key is generated. A constraint name is generated. By using information schema, you can go and fetch the what column name? Sorry, constraint name. Now the constraint was dropped successfully. Now I will drop this column. Let us see whether it will execute or not. See, it is executed successfully. That means always remember, if some column is not dropping, make sure it is referencing. It is referenced by some other columns. So make sure first you have to drop that constraint. After that, you can drop the column. That is fine. Now, I'll try to drop. This is what, right? We just created emp2. Yeah, I will try to drop this one. Help me out to drop this one emp2, because see, this emp2 is referencing by department. Alter table emp2 drop constraint. What is the constraint for pk? Something it has given, right? For emp2. Yes, this is what the full name, you have to take it. Full name I just copied here and I'll be pasting here. Yes, I'll be pasting here. Now execute this one. See, this is what I want exactly. Here, I'll keep here. The same thing I have written, right? The same thing I have written there in the drop, and here also the drop. Here the constraint name I have given, here also the constraint name I have given. But here in this case, it is already dropped. But why it is not dropping here? If you observe carefully, in the EMP table, no table is referring. No table is referring means no other foreign keywords refer to that EMP. Whereas now in EMP2 table, some foreign key is referring to this primary key. That is what this error was showing. The constraint means this one is being referenced by table foreign key constraint. So couldn't drop constraint. See previous errors. See see previous errors. That's all. It is just guiding you. That's all. Not guiding also. It is just making you to move in another track. Don't see this one. See previous errors. What was the previous errors? No, we don't find anywhere that previous errors. But you have to understand these error messages. These errors are very important. Because it is referring with the foreign key constraint, it is unable to drop even though the what commands are same. Now what I have to do in this scenario? See,
Get rid of foreign key.
yes.
In department.
Yes, first you have to remove the reference, means you have to remove the foreign key from that department table. After that, you come to this EMP table and then remove this primary key reference. Exactly. This is what we have to do. Yes, this is what the DDL commands are. We can't expect much in this DDL, like in the real time also. Truncate, alter. Yeah, we are done with this creation. But make sure that you have to add the foreign key and you have to add the constraint of unique. Because if you practice it, you are going to get it. Otherwise, by seeing it, you said you will feel that it's okay, it's easy to understand. But in order to implement, you will find many errors. But my suggestion, please implement in the SQL server. Because nowadays, it's rocking like anything. It's easier one to do. Okay. Fine. Like, can I start DML now, or else we'll see tomorrow?
Hello, Bhavya.
Yes, tell me.
Yeah, I have one question. That is, see, you explained in the earlier, right? Delete doesn't occurs in a DDL commands, right? So once we created tables and all that, only next in time of record creation, then this delete command we will use, right?
Yes.
And that too in case of exactly for deleting a exact column,
Yes.
right?
Correct. Exactly.
Okay.
Particular columns. If you want to delete particular columns, then we will use that. See, I did not discuss this one. See, it is a
Yeah, yeah.
DML command. Yeah.
Yeah, now you have used here alter table. Just go that back to that screen.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, here you have used alter table, exactly table name drop constraint, right? So in next coming, that is in a DML situations at the record level, we will use here delete option, right? Particular to command column deleting.
Sorry. See, we cannot delete a column there. We will just delete a rows there. Delete
Rows.
is
Okay.
a
Okay.
family of truncate. See, drop is dealing with whole structure. It is deleting a whole
Fine.
table from the database, right?
Okay. Okay.
Whereas truncate, what truncate is doing, it is dealing with only the rows inside the table. So delete
Okay.
here in the truncate, we cannot give where condition. So
Okay.
in order to achieve that, we can give where condition in the delete also. But another beautiful concept is that identity property. There also, truncate and delete is different. Different in the sense, a mild difference we have. Like in the outside or in the Google, we will not find this kind of difference anymore. But while working on that, why? Because in recently we have implemented one stored procedure. Means client has given a stored procedure for us. There he used delete and the truncate, and the table consists of identity property. Uh, like, I just wait for a minute and I was thinking why he has given delete and truncate at a time.
Truncate.
So the moment I see the table of identity property, then I realized what is the difference and all. Okay, so tomorrow after discussing this DML, I'll tell you the identity property and I'll show you the difference between this truncate delete, how it is working with identity property also.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, and moreover, delete will not work with column. Delete nowhere it is going to delete the column. It is only deleting the rows. No worries. We'll see practically tomorrow.
Sure.
Okay. So any doubts so far up to now? anyone. It's fine. Yeah, thanks for your time. If
Thank
no
you.
doubt, you can end up. Yeah, thank you.